Question 16. Simplify the following expression. So simplify it, I'm going to try and factorise. So I'm going to factorise the top and I'm going to factorise the bottom. Usually when you have something like this with a fraction, you'll find that on the top and bottom there'll be a bracket that's the same. So if we consider the top, so 4x squared minus 7x minus 2. So I'm going to factorise this by looking for pairs of numbers that add and times. They need to add to make minus 7 and they need to times to make minus 8 from 4 times 2. Numbers that do that are going to be 1 and 8. One of them is going to have to be negative to make minus 8, and if I want to end on minus 7, I need to go down to minus 8 first. I'm going to split the middle term, so I'm going to split that into a plus 1x and a minus 8x. Term at the start stays the same, and term on the end also stays the same. Consider factorising the first half. The only thing common is x, and then in the bracket I'm going to get 4x plus 1. Factorise the second part. I keep the sign that's there, minus. Common in 8 and 2 is 2, and then in the bracket, minus 2 times 4x will make minus 8x, and minus 2 times positive 1 will make minus 2. So the fact that I've got a repeated bracket is good. So that's one of my brackets, and the other bracket is the x minus 2. So that's the top factorise. The bottom, I'm going to factorise using simple factorising. I'm just going to look for a common factor and then put the bracket in around it. So in 4 and 8, the common factor is 4 times x, and then 4 times minus 2. So I can rewrite this fraction now as 4x plus 1 x minus 2, all divided by 4 bracket x minus 2. As we thought, there'd be a repeated bracket, which when you divide by itself is 1, so I can leave those out. So I left with 4x plus 1 divided by 4. Don't need to go any further than that, because if I was to try and simplify here, I'd have to consider dividing both of these parts by 4, which is not as straightforward as just cancelling out those 4s would be.